Thank you for watching Safe Haven Radio. Today, we're going to explore the psychology of authentic living and how to break free from the burden of maintaining false appearances. Many of you may have similar experiences, that exhausting feeling of constantly managing how others perceive you, carefully curating every interaction to maintain an image that feels increasingly difficult to uphold. You might find yourself lying awake at night, replaying conversations and wondering if you said the right thing, if you appeared successful enough, smart enough, or together enough. I want you to know that if this resonates with you, you're not alone. Research from major universities shows that up to 72% of adults struggle with impression management behaviors that significantly impact their mental health. The good news is that science has revealed powerful, evidence-based methods to help you break free from this exhausting pattern and discover the profound relief and well-being that comes from living authentically. Let's explore this together today. While I'll share scientific insights and practical techniques that have helped millions of people, please remember that if you're experiencing severe anxiety, depression, or other concerning symptoms, it's important to seek support from a mental health professional. What we'll discuss today can complement professional care, but isn't a substitute for it. Take your time with everything we discuss. There's no rush, no perfect way to implement these ideas. Simply being here, being curious about living more authentically, is already an important step. You don't need to transform overnight. Small, gentle shifts toward authenticity can create profound changes over time. The scientific evidence about the mental health impact of maintaining false appearances is truly remarkable. A comprehensive meta-analysis examining over 64,000 participants, published in 2024, found that individuals who engage in high levels of impression management show dramatically higher rates of anxiety disorders and increased risk of depression compared to those living more authentically. What's particularly striking is that brain imaging studies from leading neuroscience research centers have demonstrated that maintaining a false self actually activates stress response regions in the brain at levels comparable to physical threat responses. When we constantly monitor and adjust our behavior to meet perceived expectations, our amygdala, the brain's alarm system, stays in a state of heightened activation. This chronic stress response depletes our mental resources and leaves us exhausted. A research team recently developed something called the Social Comparison Rumination Scale, which revealed that people who constantly compare themselves to others and maintain false appearances show extensive links with perfectionism, burnout, and psychological distress. The cognitive load of maintaining these false appearances can deplete executive function capacity by an average of 43%, leaving less mental energy for emotional regulation, decision-making, and actually enjoying our lives. Perhaps most importantly, a large-scale longitudinal study found that when people reduce their impression management behaviors by just 25%, they report significant improvements in overall life satisfaction and notable reductions in anxiety symptoms within just 4 weeks. This research suggests that authenticity isn't just a nice ideal, it's essential for our psychological well-being. The same study found that perceived authenticity, particularly in social interactions, preceded fewer mental health symptoms 2 months later, with stress reduction effects lasting up to 6 months. It's important to note that research is still evolving in this area. Different studies show varying results depending on cultural context, individual personality traits, and social circumstances. What's consistent across research, however, is that chronic impression management takes a toll on mental health, and that gradual steps toward authenticity can provide meaningful relief. There's still much we don't fully understand about the complex relationship between authenticity and well-being, but current evidence strongly supports the benefits of reducing the exhausting effort of maintaining false appearances. Now, let's explore some practical, scientifically backed methods you can use to start living more authentically. Remember, these are invitations, not obligations. Try what feels manageable and leave what doesn't serve you right now. The first technique is called the authenticity audit, and it's been shown to reduce impression management behaviors significantly within just 1 week. Each evening, spend about 10 minutes writing down 3 situations from your day where you felt you were being genuine, and 3 where you felt you were performing or putting on a mask. The key is to notice the physical sensations associated with each. Research shows that authentic moments typically feel lighter in the chest, with relaxed shoulders and natural breathing, while false presentations often create tension in the shoulders, jaw, or stomach. Simply bringing awareness to these patterns, without judgment, begins to shift them. If you miss a day or forget, that's completely fine. Even doing this exercise 2 or 3 times a week can be beneficial. The second method is graduated authenticity exposure, which works by slowly building your confidence in expressing your true self. Start by selecting one low-stakes relationship, perhaps with a casual acquaintance or in an online community, to practice genuine responses. Begin with expressing just one authentic preference daily. This might be your actual opinion about a restaurant, a movie, or even the weather, rather than what you think the other person wants to hear. Studies demonstrate that starting small builds what researchers call authenticity confidence that gradually generalizes to other relationships. After about 2 weeks, when this feels comfortable, you might expand to medium-stakes situations like work meetings or family gatherings. Research participants who followed this gentle, graduated approach reported significant reductions in social anxiety after 6 weeks. The beauty of this method is that you control the pace entirely. The third technique is the values clarification protocol, which has been proven to strengthen authentic self-expression. Take about 15 minutes to identify your top 3 personal values. These might include things like creativity, kindness, adventure, stability, connection, or learning. Then, each day, briefly rate your main activities on how well they align with these values, using a simple scale of 1 to 10. Neuroscience research shows this exercise actually strengthens activity in the prefrontal cortex, the brain region associated with self-directed behavior and decision-making. You're literally rewiring your brain to act more in accordance with your true values rather than external expectations. If you find this difficult at first, that's normal. Many of us have become so disconnected from our values that identifying them takes time. The fourth method involves cognitive reframing for social comparison. When you catch yourself comparing to others, which might happen dozens of times daily, especially on social media, practice this simple reframe. Instead of thinking they're better than me or I should be more like them, try they're on a different journey than me or their highlight reel isn't their whole story. Brain imaging studies show this linguistic shift actually reduces amygdala activation, calming your stress response. It might feel artificial at first, but research indicates that with consistent practice, this reframing becomes automatic within about 3 weeks, significantly reducing comparison-related distress. The fifth technique is boundary setting micro-practices. Start incredibly small by saying no to just one minor request each week that doesn't align with your values or energy. This might be declining an optional social event, not immediately responding to a non-urgent message, or choosing not to volunteer for an extra task. Research shows that successful boundary setting in small matters builds what psychologists call self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to navigate challenges. As this confidence grows, you naturally become more capable of setting larger, more important boundaries. Studies found that people who practiced these micro-boundaries reported improvements in relationship satisfaction and reductions in resentment and exhaustion. Finally, practice self-compassion breaks when you notice perfectionism driving false appearances. When you catch yourself in harsh self-criticism about not being good enough or needing to appear a certain way, pause. Place your hand gently on your heart, take 3 deep breaths, and repeat to yourself, "This is a moment of struggle. Struggle is part of being human. May I be kind to myself in this moment?" Neuroimaging studies show this simple practice reduces cortisol levels and increases oxytocin production, literally changing your body's stress chemistry. You don't need to believe the words at first. The physical gesture and intention are enough to begin shifting your internal state. Remember, you don't need to implement all of these techniques at once. In fact, it's better if you don't. Choose one that resonates with you and practice it gently for a week or two before adding another. If something doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It might simply not be the right technique for you at this time. The path to authenticity is itself authentic, meaning it looks different for everyone. To summarize what we've discussed today, first, authenticity literally reduces anxiety by rewiring your brain's stress responses. Second, small genuine expressions build massive confidence over time through gradual exposure. Third, aligning with your values transforms your decision-making power and reduces internal conflict. Fourth, reframing social comparisons liberates enormous amounts of mental energy for what truly matters. Fifth, setting micro-boundaries protects your psychological well-being without requiring dramatic confrontations. And finally, self-compassion dissolves the perfectionist patterns that drive false appearances in the first place. As we conclude, I want to remind you that breaking free from false appearances is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you fall back into old patterns, when the pressure to conform feels overwhelming, or when being authentic feels too vulnerable. This is completely normal and doesn't mean you're failing. Each moment offers a new opportunity to choose authenticity, even in the smallest way. Change takes time, and that's okay. You don't need to be perfectly authentic to benefit from these practices. Even small shifts toward genuine self-expression can create meaningful improvements in your mental health and overall well-being. Your value doesn't depend on maintaining any particular image. You are worthy of connection, respect, and love exactly as you are, without the exhausting performance. If today's content provided any support or insight, please hit the like button. It helps others find Safe Haven Radio who might benefit from these conversations. Subscribe if you'd like to continue learning about mental health and well-being together. Remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Professional support is available if you need it, and there's no shame in seeking help. May your heart feel a little lighter knowing that you don't have to maintain false appearances to be valued. The world needs your authentic self, not a performance. Thank you for being here, for your courage in exploring these ideas, and for taking steps toward a more authentic life. Thank you for listening to Safe Haven Radio. Until next time, be gentle with yourself.